Okay, so I want to do a review on my Winchester earmuffs here, I guess whatever you want to call it, hearing protectors. These are actually electronic ones. So I saw them at Walmart. It was $24, so cheap enough to take a chance on. Not expecting a whole lot. I originally got them because I read somewhere about someone being concerned about their hearing, having to use a firearm indoors for self-defense or whatever. You know, my hearing is pretty bad already, but with the standard muff, it puts you at a disadvantage because you can't hear people walking around, or so they may get the jump on you. So I thought these would be nice because you can actually hear what's going on. You can turn it up where it amplifies what you hear quite a bit. So that's why I initially got them, but it turns out after using them at the range, it just really enhances the shooting experience because you get to hear yourself putting the bullets in. You can hear the birds chirping if you're outside. You know, when I was shooting into the hill, I could hear the rocks falling around when they struck the mound. It's just a different experience that I was really missing out on with the standard muffs. So, whatever reason you use them, these are worth it. $24. A couple things I thought might be a problem. One, it's pretty shallow in here, so your ear's kind of touching this part. I thought it would bug me, but I worked for 2 hours. It didn't bug me at all, so that wasn't too much of an issue. But for my original idea is using them in a home defense situation, it's got two knobs and you got to twist them opposite directions to turn them on, and they're black on black at night. It's probably asking too much as far as fine motor skills. So maybe it's probably not going to work out that way, but I'm still glad I have them. The reception, what you hear is kind of fuzzy if you turn it up all the way. And one side, the right side, if it's all the way cranked up, it kind of cuts out before it's supposed to. But if I dial it back a little bit, it tends to be more consistent. So it's not perfect. I think if you paid more, you'd get less fuzz in your ear, that kind of buzz, you know, just static. And they might be slightly less bulky, maybe more comfortable. But for $24, they worked out pretty good. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was I shot my Duraseal target a little more, and I hit it with a couple different types of ammo. I almost ruined it when I struck it right in the middle here, where you can see those two holes. The lead of the bullet actually got wedged between the metal and the rubber, whatever material it is, and it didn't spin anymore. So I tried to dig it out with a knife, couldn't quite get it. I didn't want to ruin it, so I actually took it back home and I ran a drill through to loosen it back up. So now, as you can see, it spins like it's supposed to. I hit it with a variety of things. I was actually quite surprised at how well it took some of these. The main thing I used here was the Federal Target Performance thing, whatever that is. It's a round-nosed bullet, lead, 40 grains. That worked ideal. Not supposed to use hollow points, but with the 22s and the Federal cheapos, the size of the hole was almost the same. Not enough where I would use more expensive ammo just for the sake of keeping it looking good. And just for fun, I shot it with 357 Magnum, and with these Fiakashis, it's a little flat on the tip, but otherwise it's got an angle to it, and I tell you what, it sailed right through it. I almost thought I missed it until I actually inspected it and found my hole. Of course, this is before I shot it for 2 hours. It had much less holes in it, but it really did no damage whatsoever to it, not much more than the 22. The only thing that really did damage, just for fun, I hit it with a couple of my wad cutters. That's this big mark and this mark here. But as you can see on the back side, it's not too bad. But the main thing is if you do hit it with one of these wad cutters, one of these guys, it will pop out of the stand. So you don't want to walk back and forth and keep having to put it back. But you can hit it with some pretty high caliber stuff as long as the shape of the bullet is mostly a cone or a round nose would probably be ideal. I just don't have any right now, so I may try to pick up some round nose bullets to reload. So anyway, man, I tell you what, this Model 63, I spent 2 hours. You know, this box of ammo full was $18 at Walmart. This was $15. You get a lot less, so this is actually cheaper. And I just shot that thing from many, many different distances, and I tell you what, it was a lot of fun, especially with those earmuffs. It was a really good time. And the advantage of this thing is, as I mentioned before, it's not metal, so it won't splatter the lead, so you can use it in ranges where they normally will be picky about that. You don't have to keep walking up and changing your plates all the time. You know, I shoot paper plates, and that gets kind of annoying because you shoot it 12 times and you can't really tell where you hit it. Especially at longer ranges, if you're hitting like with 22s, even though I have the shoot and see targets that kind of glow yellow when you hit them. If you get 25 yards back, you're not going to see the 22s without a spotting scope, which I don't have. But even if you had a spotting scope and you hit it many times, you don't know if you hit it. This one will react, it'll move, it'll spin. So if you're really even 50, 100 yards back, if you hit this thing, you'll know when you hit it, and you don't have to keep on walking back and forth, because that's not really the fun part. The fun part is shooting, and this helps me do more shooting and less stapling and walking. So 2 products, I recommend them both.